Brian White.
Thank
you
you
so much, Brian.
Thank you.
I hope you get to chill.
Going back to bed.
Yeah. God
Good
bless
for you. Me too.
What is up, everybody? Welcome on into the Call Up. I'm Susanna Collins. That is Jillian Sakovitz. And we are nursing what we are going to call the Decision Day hangover. If you're watching this, we are both wearing some very stylish sunglasses right now that I convinced Jill to order on Amazon because...
Convinced is a strong word. It was more like, oh my gosh, where'd you get those? And then she shared the link. That's all.
They're slightly obnoxious, but felt appropriate today. You guys, Decision Day is always insane. We know this. We have come to expect this. And 2021 was no exception. Just absolutely wild. Not only did we see some crazy moving and shaking in the standings, but there was players making their sort of swan song, you know, Chris Wondolowski retirement. I mean, I just wasn't ready for all the emotions. Justin Morrow playing his last game in front of the TFC fans. I was all over the place, like literally just crying. And then, so Jill, I was in LA for the LA Minnesota game. And it was that game was insane. Like it was
telling me everyone left there in a great mood.
Oh my God. Well, here's the thing. So it was this like crazy back and forth match. And I had a feeling that it was kind of going to be like that. But literally it was the waning seconds of this match. The LA Galaxy were still going through. Okay. They were still going through. And then we get word that RSL scored in extra time. And they beat SKC, and then the Galaxy are suddenly out. I mean, like, if you could have taken the temperature of the fans at Dignity Health Sports Park, it was madness. And then after the game, Jill, like the players, like the Galaxy players just hunched over on the field like they couldn't believe what just happened. And my heart just breaks. And then
Did you console Chicharito for us? I mean that. You had him all smiling in your pregame interview.
I know.
We got to keep good with him because we want to have him on.
Obviously, I know. No, he was, I will say, he put on a very brave front for the fans. They all walked around and thanked everyone, but it was heartbreak. It was just complete and utter heartbreak. And for Minnesota, all they needed was a draw. So on the one hand, they're celebrating, and for them, results on the road have been hard to get. So this was like huge for them, but it was just, I
hear you, Snooze.
Emotional roller coaster that was Decision Day has just, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely
similar roller coaster of emotions, covering Atlanta United taking on Wooden Spoon winner. I learned that this weekend. FC Cincinnati. A little different with Atlanta United. I feel like it was poetic justice of sorts for the way that their season ended. I'm sure they would have wanted a little more against Cincinnati than 2-1. But for Miles Robinson, who's had 3 goals for the U.S. men's national team in 14 appearances, to score his first ever MLS goal after like 3,000 minutes was well-deserved. Happy to see it. I know it's kind of been what he said, like a weight on his back. And then for Joseph Martinez to score what might be his best ever Atlanta United goal. Just the guts, I'll use that word as Jeff Loreno had said it differently, to try to pull that off. Only Joseph. So I know he's feeling good as they go into the postseason. Miles Robinson's feeling good because now he's just basically living in Cincinnati as he joins the U.S. We'll be taking on Mexico. So that was very beautiful ending, especially after the year that it's hard to believe with Atlanta United that this year started with a poor run of form with Gabriel Heinze, then interim manager Rob Valentino, and now head manager Gonzalo Pineda. I'm like, that was this year?
Roller coaster.
That is why I am just in full hangover mode, because frankly, it's been a heck of a year, and I feel robbed because yesterday, Monday, I was really looking forward to vegging out on the couch. But I had to celebrate the end of the regular season by getting a mammogram at 10 in the morning.
Good for you.
Thank you. Just getting, my annual, as I should. My mom had breast cancer at a very young age. So I did that. Yep. So that was not really how I saw that wasn't really vegging for anyone who's had one. And for those of you men who haven't, that's not vegging.
No.
And then I had an Invisalign appointment. So my Monday was destroyed. So I was robbed. So I'm carrying that anger over into today.
Well, I
into
spent
work, which is so professional.
Yeah, no, I spent all of yesterday traveling back from Los Angeles. So,
For us.
Listen, I know. We get out the little violins. But you guys, I mean, it was awesome. We are ready. We are ready for the playoffs. And guess who we are going to see in the playoffs? The Vancouver Whitecaps, people. They finished
Where's that
sixth. They finished sixth place. And today on the pod, we have 25-year-old striker Brian White, who has been a revelation for this team. I think 8 goals in his last 11 games, something crazy like that. He has just been on incredible form. So we are going to talk to him about, just the crazy second half of the season that they've put together, because at the beginning it wasn't so good. And here they are in the playoffs. So we're going to have a great conversation with him. And
that's so many teams
I know.
this year, Suze.
I know.
Red Bulls, Vancouver, Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's not the most MLS thing I've ever heard. And what is it about sunglasses that makes you feel like you can do whatever you want?
I feel so empowered right now.
I feel like I can dance.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, I love it.
Our AT&T 5G call to the field today. We are throwing it all the way out to the West Coast and going a little bit north. The guy who has been an absolute blast to watch this season for the Vancouver Whitecaps, 25-year-old striker Brian White.
Yes.
Hi, Brian.
How are you?
Good. How are you? First off, congratulations on making the playoffs. Congratulations on knowing when you'll be playing. Playoff schedule dropping last night. Super exciting. Vancouver snags that 6th spot after a 1-1 draw with Seattle. You will be heading to Kansas City for the first round. Take me inside the locker room celebration.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement. We know it's just the first step in the larger goal, but looking at the big picture of it, we were at the bottom of the table at one point in the season, and to be in not even just scraping in, but in the 6th spot I think is a huge achievement for this team, and we're all just really excited.
Massive achievement. Because as you say, Vancouver, we're at the bottom of the standings. We're gonna just be totally transparent here, Brian, because they always make us do these preseason predictions, which never go well for us. But truth be told, okay, so Jill had Vancouver finishing 13th. I had them finishing 11th, okay? And you talked about it. I mean, this was a team that had a pretty remarkable second half turnaround, and a team that went through a coaching change and all this. So for you guys to put it all together, to find yourself in the 6th spot, you're going to the playoffs. If you had to put it into words, I mean, you joined in June, but from your perspective and what you've seen since you've been there, what was the secret sauce for the Vancouver Whitecaps to get them to this point that they're at now?
I think a big part of it was being able to come home to BC Place. Obviously being in, when I got traded, we were still in Salt Lake. So I went there for 2 months, and knowing that we were eventually going to come here, and then finally having a place to go home, having fans in the stands, and having them there, I think was a big momentum shift for us, because it's always an advantage when you have fans cheering you guys on at home games. But when we were in Salt Lake, the stadium was pretty much empty, so it was tough.
Vanni Sartini took over on August 27th. We've seen the speeches from him. This is a guy who seems like he can really get anybody fired up. Tell us what it's like playing for him, and what makes him unique compared to other managers that you've had.
I think pretty much what you see is what you get even behind closed doors. He's very exuberant, very excited, and he's really a lot of fun to play for, because you see the emotion, the energy he puts into it. He puts belief and passion into those speeches. So it really makes it easy for guys to really just want to go out in the field and give their all for him. And I think you can see that when we go out and play. And the results against those bigger top of the table teams have been, I think, a clear picture of what he's been able to do with us.
Yeah, also, I just want to flag, Suze, when we picked our lower things for Vancouver, Brian White wasn't there yet.
That's
we
true.
Had to make
that
that decision in April. So
Yeah, but also, Brian, don't look at where I had the Red Bulls finishing either. So forget it. I honestly,
Yeah.
it's just a mess. It's a mess. It's not you. It's me. Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
it might be.
let's just get that clear. Right
Yeah, sorry. Not a great start for us. Why are we disclosing this
I
type
know.
of information?
Just listen,
We're too
because we're
honest.
self-aware. We're self-aware. No, I mean, I really, really love what Vanni Sartini has done. He is a guy, I feel like we need more of that. We need more of these personalities in MLS, guys that show their emotion. They wear their heart on their sleeves, and you can tell that you guys love playing for him. I have to ask you, this is something I saw on Instagram, or maybe it was Twitter last week, but he had posted a picture with his cat, Frida. And it was hysterical. Like, I was just like, I love that this guy is so comfortable. He's just like, no, this is my cat. I love my cat. The Whitecaps tweeted it out and retweeted it. And I just was like, I love this man's personality so much because he's very comfortable just showing that he's a cat person. Have you met the cat Frida?
I haven't. We're kind of neighbors. We live around the street from each other, but I haven't met the cat.
That's unacceptable, Brian.
She's a beautiful cat.
We come across each other on the streets a couple of times, but he wasn't walking the cat at all, though.
Well, if walking the cat, that's like next level cat ownership.
I've seen people do
I
it.
was really hoping for that. That's unfortunate.
I know.
You mentioned the change, that the new trajectory that he's put you all on, but he still has that interim manager tag. What's the word on the street, Brian? And do you see him being the head coach next year for Vancouver?
I have no insider information onto that.
Just your opinion. Just your opinion. We don't expect.
Should he be? Should he be?
Listen, I think we all love playing for Vanni. I think it shows by the product on the field, the way we're able to play, the results we're able to get, and so should the club decide to keep him as a full-time manager, I think everyone on the team would be over the moon excited to have him because it's been great and great playing with him, and I think we've all enjoyed it a lot.
Love it. We're so excited. We get to watch more of you guys in the postseason. But Brian, right now we want to get to know you a little bit more and talk about your soccer journey. You are a Jersey guy through and through, grew up in Flemington, played for the Red Bulls under 23 teams. And you went to Duke, you played there, drafted by the Red Bulls in the first round of the 2018 MLS Super Draft. I remember this very well. And you were a key for that RB2 team before sort of bursting on the scene with the senior squad. What was it like for you getting drafted by the team and then having all of this experience playing for your hometown team and then having the success that you had with them? What was that like? Yeah,
it was, a special time. Like you said, being from New Jersey, the first probably year and a couple months, I lived at home. Just traveling to practice was only 40 minutes. So it's nice to have home cooked meals all the time. And having my friends and family be able to come to all the games, it was really exciting. They were there for my first start and first goal right in the corner. So yeah, it was awesome being in Jersey and having everyone there, but it's an exciting new chapter in my life being out here in Vancouver, and it's been fun so far.
Perfect segue into my next question. I grew up in the New York City tri-state area, and you couldn't pick really two different places than New Jersey and the beautiful, not that New Jersey's not, Vancouver, Canada. Tell me, what's the biggest difference between your New Jersey life and your British Columbia life?
The food's a little different. I've had a big hanker for some pizza and bagels recently. But it's awesome. I'm living in downtown Vancouver, so it's kind of the city feel, but then there's the Stanley Park, which is just beautiful nature and scenery, and then there's the beach 5 minutes the other way. It's kind of crazy how you have all that in 10 minutes within each other.
Yeah.
And the Whitecap Mountains. I mean, it's unreal when you're in downtown Vancouver.
You really get everything.
Is. It's so scenic.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You get everything. Oh man. Brian, who would you say was your biggest soccer influence growing up?
My biggest soccer influence? My favorite player was Steven Gerrard growing up, but besides my favorite player, my coach Sam Nellens from PDA is one of my biggest mentors and still in contact today. So having him, through all this journey has been great. What does he say to you when he kind of has watched the trajectory of your career? What are does he still give you advice? What is that relationship like? He tells me, get to the back post. keeps it pretty simple. And yeah.
Someone else who obviously you got to be around was Bradley Wright Phillips. I remember covering the New York Derby at Red Bull Arena in 2019, and you were playing for, at the time, an injured Bradley Wright Phillips. And I remember Chris Armas telling me that he had no desire to be an assistant coach, but he was taking on a little bit of like an assistant coach role. What did you take from your time kind of playing alongside or training alongside Bradley Wright Phillips with the New York Red Bulls?
Yeah, I think for me playing, alongside Brad was a great experience for my career. He was such a good guy, a good leader on the team, and being another forward was great to like kind of learn things from him every training, every game. He was always there to like, kind of give me tips of the trade and things I should do here, things I should do there. So even when he wasn't playing, he was always there. And it was a great experience to be able to learn from him. He was such a great guy and a great player. What
was one of those tips?
The one thing I remember specifically was we were playing Chicago, and he was, and we came in at a halftime. I think it was tied, and he's like, "Just get in the box. You're doing all this. Get yourself in the box and get a goal." And so eventually, a play came, played the ball wide, and it just ran straight towards the center of the goal. The ball came and just had to tap it in. So it's just like one of these little things where, it seems like a little advice, but it obviously led to a goal, and it's just been great to have these kind of things in my career.
That's awesome. We also saw decision day was crazy, but we also had to say farewell to a fellow striker, Chris Wondolowski, a guy you probably watched for a long time. 171 goals. I mean, he played till he was 38 years old. When you look at a career like that, like Chris Wondolowski, as a young striker in the league, what are your biggest takeaways from the career that he had?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the, prolific American strikers, and being able to, we never really met, but being able to share the field with him and, seeing what he had done growing up was, a great, honorable experience for me. And, he's a guy I looked up to, the way he plays. And I think there's some similarities there in terms of getting in the box and just finding ways to get on the end of crosses and things. So, he's, credit to him. He's had an unbelievable career, and it's been I'm just happy I was able to watch it a little bit.
That's awesome.
Wando also is like a little bit of like a humble guy. And I'll be totally honest, when you're around former players, analysts, the word humble is not always the word used to describe strikers. That's just not always in their personalities. They're maybe the trickiest guy on the team. At times I've heard the word moody, but that's what makes them great at their craft. You've stressed the importance of humbleness as a striker. Vancouver in general, you've flown a little bit under the radar. A few weeks back, Sartini spoke to Extra Time and said that you're one of the most selfless, team-oriented strikers. Where does that humbleness come from, and why does it serve you?
I don't know. I think it's kind of just the way maybe I was raised. I've always kind of been, I haven't really liked the spotlight too much in these kind of things, because at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and I know without like the guys around me, like Ryan and Christian and Dave Bear, like I'm not getting these goals and these assists. So having them around me, it's kind of what has led to me having such a good year. So for me, it's about doing the work for the team, because at the end of the day, the main goal is to get into the playoffs, to win a championship. These are the things we play for. So it's not about me, it's about the team. And that's just something, the way I like to play, the way I like to go about.
No I in team. I love it. And they always say it. No, it's incredible. And it's such an important perspective to have. But you've got 8 goals in your last 11 games. You scored a hat trick against San Jose, and you talked about all the guys around you. Vanny said that you have a newfound confidence with this team and are, quote, doing things you weren't even imagining a few months ago, protecting the ball, dribbling. I mean, like, what specifically, why have you sort of burst on the scene in Vancouver the way you have? I mean, we saw what you were capable of when you were with the Red Bulls, but it just feels like this is, sort of been your breakout moment. Can you kind of get into some of the details about why you've been able to be so successful here with these guys around you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the system and the way we play. And anytime you start playing well and, goals start falling, I think confidence just naturally builds up and begins to snowball. So for me, it's just, building off of every game, every goal, and continuing just to, focus on the little things and not get too carried away with wanting to do more and just knowing what I can do on the field and how I can help the team, and letting that, lead to more success and more momentum for the team.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your teammates. Among the nominees for Newcomer of the Year is Ryan Gauld. Why is it him, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think, like a player like Ryan, one thing that maybe goes unnoticed is just his movement around. Like, he does so much work getting on the side of the ball, and I think that makes it difficult for the other team to defend. They have to make sure they see where he is, and then when they're focusing on him, it opens up space for other guys to move into. So not only is he great on the ball, can he pick out passes and score goals, but like I said, his movement and then his defensive work is unbelievable. Like, I don't know if that gets enough credit, but he is one of the hardest working 10s I think you'll see in this league. So he's been great to have on the team, and I think he's a huge part of the success we've had.
It is. It's a special team. This Vancouver Whitecaps team has been so much fun to watch. Just the style of football. We have been so very entertained by you guys, and we hope that you continue this. But you've got some time before the playoffs actually start. You've got some downtime, Brian. So we want to make sure that you're gonna like decompress, just get yourself mentally in the right headspace before the playoffs kick off. So, what are some of the things that you're going to be doing? Like, for instance, what are you going to be binge watching? Any kind of show, just kind of like relax, get your mind off soccer for a little bit. What would it be?
Well, me and my girlfriend just started the show Defending Jacob.
Oh, it's so good.
TV. Yeah, so we're into that right now.
That's intense. I'm not going to say that's like lighthearted. Like, that actually, like, my anxiety went very high when I watched that.
Yeah,
So just
I think we're like the second or third episode. So we're still early on.
Oh boy.
Now, are you guys watching this in person, or are you doing the whole like let's start the show at the same time kind of deal?
Well, she's here for her now.
Okay, gotcha. Love that. Yeah, because I talk to players all the time that'll tell me like that what they're watching, but yet they're like on different coasts or whatever. So they like FaceTime and start the show at the same time. So I'm just always interested how that works. What is your cheat meal? Will you be indulging in anything in particular over the next 12 days?
Cheat meal. Well, my favorite always is pizza. So we actually went out after the game to this pizza place down the street that's really good. So you gotta start it off, right on the right foot with that pizza.
How's the pizza?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is there a lot of good pizza in Vancouver?
It's a little different for sure, but it is good pizza. I love this place. It's one of my favorites so far. And there's also a Brooklyn style pizza joint right below my new apartment. So it's pretty good. It's not, exactly the same, but it's good, close enough.
Yeah, you said you were missing the pizza and the bagels, which is completely fair.
There's no way to get the bagels. I know.
Yeah, it's just really, it's just no. But I heard Montreal has good bagels. So if you go a little bit further east in Canada,
then might as well go back to New York.
Exactly. Brian, what kind of music are you listening to kind of help you unwind?
I listen to all kinds of music, honestly. Okay. I don't really have like a very specific kind. I don't know. I recently have to get into a lot of salsa music because of Dajo and Daybert.
Oh yeah. Are they playing the music in the locker room? Who's kind of controlling that?
Sometimes.
Okay. Makes sense.
So they turn me on to some salsa, so I've gotten into that. I always like country music and hip hop and stuff before the game. So I'm all over the place.
Variety. That's great though. It's a spice of life, man.
Yeah.
Spice of life. What teammate are you going to be hanging out with?
Probably Jake. I think Russell. We have plans to go out sometime. So, I went out to get ramen with Leo Wusu the other day. So, it's a really fun group of guys, and they're always around. So
I was gonna say, what's that been like? You're the new guy, like you kind of like walk into this. What has the transition into the team been like? Because it seems like a really cohesive group. What was it like walking into that?
Yeah, for me it was, it was easy in Salt Lake because it was almost like we're at sleepaway camp. We were all in like the same apartment building. Mm-hmm. See you guys walking around and everything, and then having another, friend in Jake from New Jersey there made it a lot easier to kind of transition into the team. So it's been great to have him there.
Love that. All right. Before we let you go, the schedule's out. The scene is out. You guys will be back in action for the first day of the MLS Cup playoffs on November 20th at Sporting Kansas City, 5:00 Eastern time. What is going to get you guys through to the semifinals?
I think, like Vanny says, just sticking to, our tactics, our style of play, believing in each other. I think, obviously, we're going to a place that's traditionally been a very difficult place to play and a team that's been very good year in and year out. So we know it's going to be a huge challenge, but I think as long as we believe in each other, believe in the tactics, I think, we have a good chance of putting up a fight and coming out with a win.
Brian, you've been proving us wrong all season. You certainly proved us wrong with our preseason predictions. So
half wrong.
Exactly.
Because we had half the info going into our.
That's true. That's true. But man, thank you so much for your time. We're so excited that we get to watch you some more this season. Best of luck in the playoffs, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Well, we're mixing up here for this today. As in, not here for this. God, I think that's probably the new segment. We started off the beginning of the year giving a little hate to the world's desire for preseason predictions, because all it is a train track to failure. It is a reason for people to tag you in mean tweets and to hate on you. There's no winning. It's like no good deed goes
P.S.
unpunished.
No,
there's
P.S.
nothing to gain.
We were
from
so
predictions.
upfront about how much we hate doing it too. Like we literally prefaced our preseason predictions by saying we are doing this against our will. We don't want to do it. Okay, just say it.
Today's not here for this. I'm not here for the New York Red Bulls posting to their official Instagram account what all of us MLS experts had to think in, I don't know, what was it, April 2021? Yeah. That's so shady, New York Red Bulls. Plus, it's like we've seen the New York City fan accounts or Orlando fan accounts. They do it. But for an actual club, to put that out there, I thought we were friends. Come on, Red Bulls. You didn't think you were making the playoffs either in August. Be honest.
Be honest. Just be honest.
Also, what the heck is about no teams point out when you get it right?
No.
It's only the ones that you get it at the bottom. So
I will say the ones that I got right, though, are all teams that didn't make the playoffs. So there's a reason probably why they are not like, oh, look how smart Susanna is, because she said that we weren't going to make it to the postseason. And guess what? We're not going.
Okay, well, then I have one gripe.
LA Galaxy, Miami, and Houston, I predicted correctly. And I'm very sorry that your season is over. But
okay, but you had LA in eighth.
I did.
Life could be better, could be worse.
Yeah.
I have one gripe, though, with Minnesota United. I had you guys finishing fifth, and you did. So how about a little love there, okay? Now, also, Austin got them correct at 12th, and Cincinnati at 14th. So small snaps there.
Small victories. Okay, so I know I talked about how sad and just really heartbreaking it was to be amongst the LA Galaxy team and supporters on decision day, because boy, did that one sting for them. But I want to give them some love because they gave me these incredible Galaxy branded, if you're watching, I'm showing them right here, Galaxy branded Adidas Gazelles. They're navy blue with the white stripes, and like they has LA emblazoned in gold on the heel, and then inside, do you see the little LA Galaxy? They are so cool. Vicky Mercado, I love you. Thank you, Kevin Acevedo. You guys are the best. But these are beautiful. And
Did
so that was
Chicharito sign them for you?
I should have done that, and he did not. Jill, where were you when I needed you? Because I feel like he would have done that. Also, he was like, in the pregame interview, he was wearing this like shiny LA Dodgers jacket. He was so LA. And I was like, boy, are you fitting in well in this city? Are you fitting in well in this city?
You should have had an Atlanta Braves jacket on. I'm just saying.
What's on tap? Oh boy. So like I said, boy, do I enjoy filling out playoff brackets because, for all the reasons I mentioned beforehand, it comes with a lot of abuse and scrutiny. But for you guys, it's a completely different story. Okay. You get to live in relative anonymity and you have an awesome chance to win some cash. So the Audi 2021 MLS Cup playoffs are here. So head on over to MLSsoccer.com, fill out your bracket in the bracket challenge, free to play, and you could end up winning $10,000, okay? Or the best prize, bragging rights, which inevitably is not something that I am going to be celebrating, because
also from a
it never goes well for me. It just doesn't.
From a confidence standpoint, is there any better feeling than when you start, whether it's March Madness, MLS, when you start to get your bracket right? Like you feel like a genius.
Oh, well, so I remember last year, you and I were the only two that picked Dallas
Everything right in the
beating
first round.
Portland. Yes, and it was a crazy first round. So I was like, oh my God, wait, am I an expert? Do I know what I'm talking about? And I started kind of feeling myself a little bit, and then it just, inevitably.
Wow, thank you for reminding me of that moment.
Goes south. Yeah, I know. It was short-lived, but man, while it was happening, it was good. Felt real good.
Like we've talked about all day, the playoffs are here, and it all begins on Saturday, November 20th, when Philly takes on the New York Red Bulls, 2:30 Eastern on Univision and 2DNA, followed by Sporting Kansas City taking on Brian Wright and Joe. Followed by Sporting Kansas City taking on Brian White and the Vancouver Whitecaps, 5 o'clock on Unimas and 2DNA. New York City FC, they'll be back in action against Atlanta at Yankee Stadium on November 21st, 3 p.m. on ABC, ESPN, Deportes, TSN, and TVA, following Portland taking on Minnesota, 5:30 p.m. on ESPN. Ooh, a nice little doubleheader.
Heck yeah.
For them, ESPN, Deportes, TSN, and TVA.
Woo! Okay, take a breath. I'll pick it back up. Okay, Tuesday, the following Tuesday, guys, Nashville kicks off a doubleheader as they take on Orlando. That's going to be really fun. 8 p.m. Eastern on FS1, Fox Deportes, TSN, and TVA Sports. And then that is followed up by the Sounders against RSL, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Then, you guys, Thanksgiving Day, you can enjoy your turkey with a side of MLS, because the best in the West, the Colorado Rapids, are going to take on the winner of that Portland, Minnesota game at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Deportes, TSN, and TVA Sports. And then the Revs, the record-breaking Revs, kick off their playoff campaign on Tuesday, November 30th. They're going to take on the winner of NYC FC against Atlanta, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1, Fox Deportes, TSN, TVA Sports. You can get the full schedule at MLSsoccer.com.
Soccer, though, takes no breaks. World Cup qualifiers continue this week. Canada is taking on Costa Rica on Paramount Plus at 9:05 Eastern this Friday, November 12th. And you can also catch the U.S. men's national team taking on little old Mexico on Friday, 9:10 Eastern.
Wow.
What a showdown that is going to be. Cannot wait. It's in Cincinnati. You can watch that game on ESPN, Univision, and 2DNA. Remember that you can also tune into Extra Time Club and Country driven by Continental Tire throughout the November qualifiers. This Friday, tune into Twitter Spaces as Andrew Wiebe, David Goss, and Kaylin Carr are joined by Mexican soccer expert Cesar Hernandez as soon as the lineups are out. Can't wait for that. Oh, I am so excited for this game.
You guys, Cincinnati is only, it's only like a 4-hour drive from where I'm at in Michigan. And I've literally contemplated doing a little road trip for this USA-Mexico game.
For US-Mexico?
It's like, and because it's at Cincinnati Stadium too, which I haven't seen. And I'm like, do I do this? I know, like I haven't made up my mind yet, but it's something I'm thinking about. And also, guys, finally, I know, because in case you are just needing a little bit more of Susanna and Jill in your lives, and just a kind of more sort of real behind the scenes look at what our lives look like when we are on the road, follow us on Twitter, and we're going to give you some sort of behind the scenes vlogs, the call up vlog, playoff vlog, if you will. And it's just kind of our ridiculousness, our adventures, the things that we see, the people we talk to. We just kind of want to pull back that curtain a little bit. And I'm sure we're insane. We're ridiculous, but you'll get a full helping of all of that. Lucky you.
Sold.
Lucky you. My mom's like, ooh, that sounds fun. Like, yeah.
Me and Susan are tuning into that.
100%. 100%. Woo! Oh, you guys, that's a wrap for us for a little bit. Enjoy your international break. Go USA. Jill, let's get a little R&R, shall we? recover from
I
these
actually kind of
hangovers?
feel ready. Like my mood has gone from here
It's the
to here
sunglasses.
after this show.
It's the sunglasses.
You know what? The yellow tint gives you a sunny view on the whole world.
There it is. There it is. Oh,
Chug your
you're
water.
the best.
Drink
Yes.
water. Stay hydrated, people.
Stay hydrated. We love you guys.
What's up, everybody? It is Susanna Collins and Jillian Sakovitz, co-hosts of The Call Up. And if you want more Call Up action, hit like and subscribe right here on YouTube, right there.
And also make sure that you download every episode of The Call Up every single Tuesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time or anywhere that you get your podcasts. And while you're here, why not check out some of these other videos as well?